The podcast that you're about to listen to does not care about your emotions, your hypersensitivity, or your political correctness. If you wish to continue, then
shut up and sit down.
Guessed it.
I mean, I was able to
that
tell
was amazing.
exactly what you were saying. Like I read your lips, so it was. But I also know you, so
yeah, and I think I mouthed it very well. Again, pause.
You did what again?
I mouthed it pretty good.
Mouth.
That's right.
I don't mouthed, not Fabe said mouth.
It's mouthed. It's mouthed.
Okay. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back, guys.
Welcome.
Frank, John,
Yes, sir.
Fabian. It's been entirely. Now, I'm not gonna say too long because it was just 5, but it's been a while, guys. And we back.
It's been a minute.
We back.
It feels like it. Although it wasn't that long, it does feel like a long time. Especially when we're constantly there, putting it out there, laughing, enjoying ourselves.
Yeah,
when it goes away, it's like
we've been together, but we haven't been with our audience, and I've missed them. It's been
right.
It's been a while. There's just like so many things that we've missed to talk about, so much aggravations to get out.
Mm-hmm.
But like we all had we needed to get some things in order. But I'm happy to be back. I mean,
absolutely. It feels great. It feels like a whole 2 years has passed, but it hasn't been 2 years. It's been like a few months, but so much has happened that, and a lot of it is super exhausting, and 90% of the people here listening already know the stuff that's going on in the world. So we're not going to bore you with the typical, what everything, what's going on in the world stuff right now, because it's really one thing going on in the world right now. And I'm good on that. So
I mean, we've all been dealing with that endlessly, and I'm pretty sure we're kind of all over it.
Yeah, we're over it.
But I mean, over the time that we've been gone, some great things have happened to us. Some aggravating things have happened to us. I personally am excited to share. I bought a house. That was
Peter.
That was a big reason why I had to take some time, because bro, this shit is not easy. It's great. It is glamorous. You guys know, you both live in nice homes. This shit is tiring though, dude.
Yeah, man.
I'm here worrying about like some grown ass shit that I never used to understand. You know what I'm saying? When I lived with my parents and we had our house, like I used to bitch, moan, and complain about, chores and shit like that, like any fucking typical kid does. But now that I'm like, an adult, quote unquote.
You're an adult, nigga. You grown. You don't have to put the quotes.
Yeah, because I still don't feel it though. Like now
I still feel like when I see older people, they're grown-ups and I'm not. Like a 50-year-old.
Right. That's more what I mean, right? Like when I'm around the grown-ups that were still grown-ups when I was young, like I feel like I'm the kid still, right?
Right.
So I guess that's where it kind of comes in. But like, fuck you laughing at it?
No, I'm just laughing because I'm just thinking about it. Like some shit goes down, you'd be like, "Oh man, can somebody get a grown up?" Oh, now I am the grown up.
All right.
But yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
But true story though. When I'm at like my parents' house and shit like that, like I'm like, y'all got this. I don't know what exactly it is. Like, yeah, like everyone's got a role. Like, all right, that's your role still. When we're in that kind of when we're in that company, I succeed to the experience. Bet
you do it. I don't know. I'm afraid. Like I'm afraid to do the thing that you know what I'm saying. Well, it's because it's like you thought that kind of stuff was for only grown-ups, and it's like now you telling me I'm a grown-up now? I got to do this.
It's kind of like any hierarchy, though. It's like any hierarchy, right?
Yeah.
When you're around certain company, it's all right. Like this is your spot. You got this.
Mhm.
But I'll tell you what, getting this house, man, it really like bumped it up a notch. It was like when I had my daughter, it was like, oh shit, like it's like I fucking upgraded.
There's levels to adulthood.
I evolved when I had my daughter.
Right.
It was another level of evolution when I got the house.
Mm.
And fucking tired. Like, fucking tired. Like,
For lack of a better word, right?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta worry about the water softener, how much oil we got in the house. I'm yelling at people to fucking go put some damn clothes on and stop turning my heat up because I ain't trying to buy more oil. And I'm getting flashbacks of my father. And it's like, it's a little terrifying, but I'm like, damn, I appreciate you now. Like, I get it. And I'm sorry. Like, I want to go to him and be like, I'm sorry. Because I get it now. And I didn't get it then.
I'm sorry. You should have had more. You should have had more sons. Okay.
Yeah.
I realize you need a lot more to get this done than just me.
Yeah,
Listen,
word,
that's why
bro. Like,
my
you
pops
had
had
it
4
hard,
sons.
man. I wasn't enough. I'm sorry.
My pops had 4 sons. He knew what he was doing. Oh, y'all niggas gonna work the land. Y'all gonna tend this field. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing.
Oh, man.
Cheap labor. It's just I have a whole different appreciation for my pops and like what he was able to do and stuff like that, because you realize it's not. So you get your first flooded basement and it's like, oh shit, I gotta do this.
The hot water heater ain't working.
Nobody.
It's
Yeah,
70 degrees.
It's on you, buddy.
I mean, it's 7 degrees out. Heater, the freaking boiler went. It's like, oh, here we go. Plumbing, pipes. Don't forget to change your HVAC filters. Is one of those common things that people overlook. Nobody ever thinks about it. I didn't think about it for a while. They're like, yeah, you got to change that, at least once a year. I'm like, huh? Little homeownership tips, and you don't even know about it till like you work with like I work with dudes that like be hooking it up. They have families and wives and stuff like that. They're like, oh, I did this this week. I'm like, what? You did that? What? I'm just like silent. I'm like taking it in, and then I realize, okay, I probably gotta do that too.
It's fucked up because like you sitting here mentioning shit, and like we're here recording a podcast, and my head's going off like, damn, in the springtime I gotta do this. Yeah. Fuck, I gotta go do it. Like I got some ice building up on my walkway outside because it's been so fucking cold. Like this shit. Oh man, I hope my wife don't fall with the damn baby. I'm gonna get yelled at if she does. Fuck me. Like I'm going over this mental list as you're talking, and it's really aggravating. Like I can't leave me the fuck alone. Like get out.
I came to this pod not to be reminded of my responsibilities.
Yeah.
This is a responsibility-free zone.
I'm trying to escape right now, bro. And you just throwing this shit at me. Fuck.
I had to get up this morning and throw fucking salt all over my yard, bro. All over my driveway. You know how it is. And it's the worst. So I get it. Every winter I dread it. Like, oh, snow. And I got the private road, so I bug out every time.
It's frustrating.
A tree falls outside. It is. Welcome to adulthood. Welcome to adulthood.
Something else happened to me actually very recently. Fabian can actually appreciate this. He went through it too. I got COVID for the second time. Not to bring up a COVID conversation, but I got it for the second time. So that was joyous. Joyful.
Yeah, you got the Omarion that everybody got. It's like freaking, I feel like every other person got.
Can we get Omarion?
Omarion.
You got that icebox
COVID, nigga? Like, what? Yeah, when you get those chills, yeah, it does feel like an icebox. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're right.
Megatron, damn you, Murray.
Nah, but for me though, but I should have played the lotto. I tested positive 2 years in a row on the same day.
Wow.
I really should have gone to play the lotto, but I'm not allowed out because of quarantine. So, but I wasn't. I found that to be interesting. It didn't hit me as hard this year though, so I was all right with that. But it was just like that extra inconvenience when you don't when you don't want the inconveniences is when it happens, and that happens to be like the biggest of inconveniences in today's world. It feels like. So I wasn't too happy dealing with that. And it was right after my daughter got me wildly sick as well.
Don't you feel, especially with y'all too, because have families and stuff. Like when you feel like, I can imagine, because I already feel like this now sometimes, just with my responsibility. So I can only imagine when you feel sick, you feel like you're useless and you need like your responsibilities, like you got shit to do and you can't do it. And it's like, it's like, who's gonna do it? Like it's all on you. And it's like you almost be like, what would happen if I really, really get bad? Like, what is my family? What is my family gonna do? What is everybody else? Like, so many people depending on me,
It's like, really something tough to think about, honestly. You know what I mean? When you have these responsibilities and know that you're helpless to do anything about it.
Well, I don't know about y'all. I become like a fucking baby when I'm sick. Partially,
nigga, we're men. Also. Of course, of course we turn into of course we turn into babies when we're sick.
Knowing it and admitting it are two different things, though.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I become like,
no, you better come take care of me. Yeah.
Could you get the remote for me? I can't reach it.
But I do the same thing when she's sick. I take care of her the same way. So
that's the right thing to do. Yeah, do y'all like milk it though for extra time? You're starting to feel a little bit better, but like you don't want like she hasn't realized that yet.
We don't really do that. Like because ain't no time for play. Like I don't. You know what I'm saying?
Listen. When you start to become an adult, right? People start, especially an adult man, people start to give a little bit less of a shit about you and you just expect to do some shit. So when you get sick, right, and you're getting all this like extra attention, people worried about you. It's like, oh, you need anything? Let me go cook you whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, I try to milk that a little. Just I
feel like
I'm
taking advantage after a while, man. I feel like if I'm not really sick, you shouldn't have to do that.
Again,
you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm not saying heavily. But I'm just saying that a couple of extra hours of just like,
because if you do that shit to me, I'm gonna be tight, my nigga. If you do that shit to me, you start milking shit, nigga. I don't think
women are built to do that.
Check the mail a long time ago, nigga.
I don't think women are built to do that because I really don't think they're built to milk things like that because at least in my life. Most of the women in my life, like they have this incessant need to have things a certain way. And when they're sick, they can't have it exactly how they want it. Right. So this desire to get better, to correct whatever's kind of fucked up that they've just accepted, we do, because that's how it has to be right now, like starts to kick in. So they want to get better faster to correct the shit that we fucked up. That's my perception, at least. Like I don't know. I feel like I think that's why women don't react the same way to being sick, is because if they are fucked up, right? Like they just know it's not gonna be done the same. So it's like, no, I gotta do this shit because this nigga's gonna fuck it up. This guy's gonna mess this up for me.
Imagine rushing back to health because you don't like the way your wife cut the grass.
Yeah, my obsessive compulsiveness cured my illness.
Bro,
dude, that shit is sick.
One of my fears though was when I had this shit and I was sick. I did have symptoms. It's not like I had nothing, right? I'm thinking, motherfucker, what if we got a snowstorm right now? Who's gonna fix this? Who's gonna fix this?
That's what I was saying before. Yeah, it's just everything goes.
Yeah, having this house, I'm in an area where the power can go out. Right, I have a generator. Other day, 5 o'clock in the morning. During a snowstorm, power went out. Now, things in the house made noises and shut down, you could tell. So it woke me up. I'm like, fuck, the power went out. Well, I'm gonna wait a minute. Because I knew, first of all, it was dark outside. I'm gonna have to take my brown ass outside to try to carry this generator outside by myself to connect this thing. But at the same time, if I'm not home, who the fuck is going to do this? Because my wife is not going to move that generator.
They're gonna be cold, nigga.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like, I'm saying here like, I hope this cable is long enough. She might be able to move it to the front of the driveway. But these are the stresses of home ownership that I didn't realize. That's my point. And then you get sick, and it just makes it worse. It just makes it worse.
It's a lot.
And
It's a lot, bro.
we moved in right before all of the holidays. Which did y'all have a good holiday? Did y'all have a good holiday?
My holiday was dope.
Yeah.
The kids was happy, so you can't complain. You know, got a little snow on Christmas Eve, I think, right? Christmas Eve snowed a little bit.
It was probably somewhere around there.
It was, yeah. It did snow. Yeah, it snowed that morning.
I
any
watched
family
the
drama? Sorry.
I mean, there's always family drama, bro.
Oh.
There's like, I mean, you would have to ask. Literally, I have a list of things. Like, I don't know if anything is more, you know, people fighting, people arguing, people
I had a
agreeing on stupid things.
I had to cancel my fucking shit. Like we were gonna have everybody over. My family's super, again, super COVID paranoid. So it's like, oh, anybody got sniffles? Oh, just stay the fuck away. So you know, we ended up canceling. I mean, I didn't really mind it too much because everybody was supposed to come here, and it was just one less thing to organize.
No, not one less thing. It's a whole lot less things you got to organize. That entails a lot of freaking subcategories. Kidding me?
Yeah.
Food, setting shit up, making sure things are clean.
Cleaning.
Yeah.
Man.
No.
Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot that goes into that.
That's at least 10 off the top of my head.
Got a park. It's a lot. It's a lot, man. It's a lot.
You ever get worried about like new people coming into the equation?
Like what?
Like add-ons.
Friends of him.
Like add-ons.
Like extra people.
Like yeah, extra people. Like at my wedding, for example, like we invited some cousins, and like not everybody was given the opportunity for a +1. So some people just showed up with their +1. Right. And we're talking like the people that we wasn't aware of. You know what I'm saying? Like we were limited. I feel like sometimes people take liberties over the holidays that shouldn't be taken.
I'm not sure if it's taking liberties. It's almost like it's one of those things when it comes to the holidays, it's kind of like expected to bring your +1, your significant other. And if not by default, you go by yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, kids are one thing, but like, you know, you're expected to see the family, and if that's just an extension of you in a way.
It depends. You know? So if
now if that extended person brings somebody else, then now we're talking that now it's
all right.
Like significant other brings a girlfriend, that's like okay. My girlfriend brings a cousin, that's or a friend of hers, then it's like okay, you know, then I could see.
OD. Yeah. Well, it's taking liberties because you don't know who wants people in their house or not. Like you cannot bring people to my house unannounced. Like I don't care who you are. You could be my mama. Like you could say if you bring in my aunt, nigga, you better tell me you bringing her with you. I don't want people in my house. I don't care if they're related to me or not. If I don't know they're coming, I don't like surprises. So some people take that so too far because they'll be like, oh, it's the holidays. They won't mind. Everybody's together. And I'm the type of person that I don't get down like that. Like if it's a regular party on whatever, cool. Like just let me know, I might be bringing this person. But when holidays and stuff like going around, I don't want to feel like I'm burdened with strangers. I want to feel as comfortable as I possibly can, right? Because it's like the holidays. This is like intimate family moments and stuff like that. Like I don't want these strangers where I have to now sit there and not put on a facade, but like make everything perfect so these people don't think X, Y, and Z about me that I'm probably never going to see again and not care about. You know what I mean? Why are you putting me in that position? Right? It's very selfish for people to do stuff like that. It's not cool. It's and if y'all listening and y'all come to my house, don't ever do that shit. Don't ever do that.
Don't just show up with extras.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna go how you want it.
It's respecting. You know, you gotta be like, hey, listen, you know, I'm bringing this person, and is that okay? I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah,
like,
but
would you kick them out? Would you kick them out if they didn't announce?
Me specifically, Jonathan?
I think you know the answer. Generally speaking, if someone showed up to your house with an unannounced guest, would you be like, nah, yeah, I need to go?
It depends.
Yeah,
I ain't
it
gonna
does,
front like
yeah.
I say. It's like, oh yeah, everybody got to go. I'm not gonna do that. It depends. It really depends on if this person is giving me a bad vibe, or I might know lightly who they are, and I don't really like how they move, or you just come like it depends. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
What do you
It
have in
says-
your hand? Do you have a bottle of liquor in your hand? Like it, that shit matters. You know what
How
I'm
did you
saying?
show up? That does matter, though. That
It matters.
because that sets a tone for your arrival, right? That's why they say you're really
Right.
not supposed to show up to people's houses empty-handed, because
Especially if I don't know you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
If I don't know you, then no.
Yeah,
You
but
can
that's
come-
a class
if I know
thing.
You, nigga, come broke. I don't care.
But that's a class thing too, and how you're raised. But and that's just the way you're brought up, and that's the way you
I don't
should
look
do
at it as
things.
like a class thing. I look at it as, since I don't know you, you have to pay an entrance fee to get in my house. So what do you bring?
Well, I don't see it like that. I mean, I'm welcoming whoever.
But if I don't know, it sounds
it's a
fucked
good
up, but I don't
gesture
know you.
if you-
No,
I don't know
It's
you.
an olive branch. That thing that you're showing up with essentially is an olive branch. So
or interest.
if I know you, it's basically, it's not saying you don't have to
It's
show up
free
with
entry.
something, but
Entry
it's you get entry at a discount. So you
For
can show up with
me,
something with a little less.
if I know you, you don't have to show anything. That's the thing. It's either one extreme or another. If I know you, you come empty-handed. I don't care, nigga. We just here to chill anyway. I might got some shit. You might got who knows? Doesn't matter. I'm not
Right.
friends with you for the things, right? But if I don't know you and you think you about to just walk up in here, and the people that I know are here had put in the work, they dealt with my bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They've been there for me, all of that. No, ain't no entry fee for those people. But if I don't know you, you got to bring something. You got to show me that you fuck with me. Or that you just courteous or something. Like you can't do that. You can't do that.
But
And even sometimes if you do, I don't want old people in my house like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not talking about parents and shit. I'm not talking about parents and relatives. I'm talking about like, don't bring your future in-laws into my house and shit. Like don't do that. I don't know these people. They're adults and I'm afraid. I have to be on my I smoke weed in my house. Like you can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't do stuff like that because I'm gonna sit here and be me, and then you're gonna get embarrassed because you brought the wrong people to my house. It's a family event, right? And now I have to I don't like putting on fronts and having to fake John. I don't like faking myself. So if I have to be around an environment where I have to be, oh, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. And I got to do small, I don't want you here.
You have to put your professional voice on and shit like that.
Yeah, I got a code switch in my own house. I ain't trying to do that.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to do that. I like to be comfortable.
I've really never been in that position, but I like to believe that if I ever was, like, I would take it to extremes and just come out my room butt ass naked. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were here.
Well, you know what?
It's crossed my mind.
But what are you gonna do? Because like, there's a lot of times where even you still have to do that to a degree, even when you're meeting somebody new, like into coming to your house. So, you know,
but it's different if you're expecting them though. Like if you're inviting somebody
but if you're
into
still
your home,
expecting
it's
them,
different. No,
yeah,
but
if you're still expecting
no.
like that.
If you show it, all right. If someone tries to tell me they're showing up to my house with somebody without asking me if it's okay first, just because I know about it ahead of time doesn't all of a sudden make it okay. You're coming to my house, you ask my permission. Don't be upset if I told you no and I'm not prepared to receive these new people that you bringing in here. You understand? Like that's the difference.
Got it.
Right? You're not, ain't nobody gonna tell me who's coming into my home.
So what circumstances would it be okay for you, Fabe?
First of all, you have to let me know what's going on. Like, I don't like the extensions of. Like, so basically, if I invite you and then you decide to add +3, just because we cool like that, there's gonna be an issue. We're gonna have a very stern conversation after.
I mean, now in all fairness, that used to be a thing though. That used to be a thing when we were younger. Like people would think, "Oh, you having people over? I'm gonna bring X, Y, and Z over." When we were younger, that like,
right? That's because they're kids and they don't know like the social maturity when you get older to like respect people's houses and stuff like that and their personal stuff. You know what I mean?
To put it.
You know, when it's not till you get older, then you realize, hold on, this is my house, this is my domain, this is my lair, this is my castle.
It's where my family lives.
And now you start thinking like, okay, I'm not sure if I'm okay with this, you know? And, you know, I want strangers in because we're skeptical of people, stuff like that. When you're a kid, you don't give a F. You know, if everybody just comes over, we're all
Mhm.
friends, we're all hanging out, stuff like that. You
Yeah.
start seeing people, reading people, understanding the world and the way it works. Start getting hesitant about who you bring into your house. So that's so it's a little bit different, but I see what you're saying. So for me, it'll be fine if I'm inviting you over, but if you start adding 3 or 4 people, I better at least know what's going on, especially if it's even if it's a party.
Mhm.
You know what I
Uh,
mean? Significant others, I get it. Even if significant other has, you know, a sister or a brother that they want to bring because they don't want to leave them by themselves, okay, but just let me know. Now, if you're trying
Right.
to bring
Just
this
give me
as
a
a
heads
whole,
up.
now if you try to do
Right.
like this, like PJ said, when we're 17, and just be like, oh, yo, we'll all go to Faith's house. Let's go. Everybody pile in the car. Like, not
Nah,
happening. Nah,
y'all gonna
nah.
I
be
mean,
y'all
not
gonna be
for
waiting
not.
outside the door like a club.
I was about to say
Yeah.
in my house that shit was never acceptable. Because like y'all, my mama here, y'all can't all come in here.
hmm
Mhm.
The fucking show
One at
up,
a time.
nah,
Do you have your
nah.
ticket?
It reminds me of the conversation that we were having yesterday when we was on the games and shit. We were talking about our significant others having uh what's the word, I guess just guys over the house, and like
Oh yeah,
whether or
yeah.
not we would be okay with it or not. That this conversation kind of falls in line with that a little bit,
Yeah, but
because
that shit is
like
unacceptable.
Agreed. By default.
Just getting it out there.
Yeah.
That's
so
unacceptable.
John and Faye, to make a long story short, John and Faye believe that for no reason should another man outside of family be in the house with their significant others when they are not present.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. And yes, absolutely, yes. And but it goes both. I feel like it should go both ways too. I would
Let
never
him keep
have
going.
Okay.
a woman in my house without my significant
Right.
other.
Without my wife there.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I mean,
Mhm.
I so
It's more
on
respecting than a paranoid, you know, or a scared.
I
It's very different.
partially I understand it. My
Mhm.
position is I don't care. I mean,
Shit.
now for me, I don't care because I personally do not have the mental capacity to worry about that, and I feel like I should just trust my wife. It's really just what it comes down to. But these guys basically are saying, why even allow the opportunity, which I do understand, right? I mean, is that a fair way to put it? Like, why even
Mhm.
allow the chance for it, right?
Well, John can explain that because that's his position. Mine is a little bit different, but it's similar,
Well,
but it's different. We agree on the same thing, but mine is different. But John,
yeah,
explain that
because I
question.
feel like you're letting the devil inside, right? Like, and so even if y'all have nobody has intentions on cheating, nobody has intentions on doing shit. But I think I told y'all this last night. You ever been around somebody that you might not be 100% attracted to, but the more time you spend around them, the more attractive and likable they seem. And over time, like it might be a chemistry there that could have been avoided if you didn't let this whole ass nigga hang in your house with your wife. Like it wouldn't have happened otherwise if you didn't allow something like that to blossom, I guess. And so, nah, you can't have no nigga in my house when I'm not here. What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't even know
So
if you can have a nigga in the house while I'm here.
let me ask you a question. Would it make a difference if it was like a longtime friend?
If I knew about the long time friend, it depends on what kind of friend. Like, is you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be funny, but is the nigga a little gay? Because if he is, that might make a difference. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. Yeah.
A straight dude is a lot more threatening than a gay dude, right? When it comes to that, and
Oh,
even
I mean,
still,
in that situations, yeah, because I mean,
even still,
you're more worried about the sexuality of it.
Well, yeah, but even still, I know dudes, and I don't put it past a dude to act gay to try to get closer to a girl to smash her. That's a thing a dude would do.
I've heard that actually happen.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know what is the purpose of this friendship. Like, yeah, I'm not saying y'all can't be friends. Like, I have female friends, but they don't come to my house. They don't hang out with me like that. Like, party, Halloween party, Christmas party, whatever, barbecue. Yeah, y'all come through. We all gonna chill, drink some whatever, blah blah blah. Have a good time. But it's not like Tuesday in the middle of November, and it's like, hey, why don't you just come over in the middle of the day? Yeah, no, my wife's not here. It's fun. Like, nah, that's suspect. Like that's suspect. Even if I knew my intentions were good and I wasn't trying to do nothing, if I was her, I would think, oh, this nigga's trying to fuck her. Because, dude, what am I doing?
That is
No, I mean,
the start of a drama show.
I understand the thought, where the thought process would start. I'm just saying, like, it shouldn't proceed. It should be you should check yourself. Like, wait, no, this is my husband. We good. He loves me. I trust him. He ain't gonna disrespect me, and keep it moving. Like, I don't know why it needs to go so much
trust
further
her,
than that.
But I don't trust a dude.
But if you trust her, you should trust her to stop the situation. Even like, I would trust my wife if somebody was to come up and start acting funny, that she would cut it and kick them out. Like, no, you ain't gonna disrespect me or my husband in our house, right? That's what I trust my wife to do. So that's why I don't worry about it. But then on the flip side, what you do in the dark will eventually come to the light. So maybe I wouldn't find out right away, right? But to me, go ahead, heifer and cheat. You doing me a favor, because then I'm gonna go to the court. I'm gonna get the house. I'm gonna get the kid. You gonna be out on the street, and I'm gonna be thankful because you showed me your true colors, and I can move on with my life. And I'm not even saying nothing wild because my wife knows this. You follow what I'm saying? You're gonna be to me. You're doing me the favor, and you're saving me a lot of the work after the fact. That's how I see it. So that's why I don't worry about it.
So my question is, what if, because I brought up something, what if she tries to say no and he doesn't accept that? So he's one of the worst of men, and it brought something out of him, and you're not home, and he decides to take advantage of your wife, and you open that door because we allowed it. And
now you got to go to jail.
Now you got a whole nother
because you committed murder.
Yeah, now everybody's dying. So
and you're right. That is another level of things. But I will say though, my wife also knows not, like, I know who she's bringing in. It's not like just like some random dude that's coming into the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tim's coming over. Who the fuck is Tim? No, if I gotta ask who the fuck is this, they are not coming, right?
It's just something. I'm just trying to play it through my mind. Like, I'm pulling up to my house. There's only supposed to be X amount of cars in the driveway, and there's just a whole other car in the driveway. And you just in the house.
Not a good feeling. Not a good feeling.
You're just playing PlayStation.
No.
Like, what are y'all doing in here?
It is not the kind of thing that you wouldn't know about. Like, no, if someone's gonna be in my house, I better fucking know about it. And you're right, I better not show up to some fucking shit just here that you did not put me on about. No. There are rules to the situation. I'm just saying, like, I'm not on a complete no side of the situation. That's my point. But I get, like, I do get what you guys are saying. I can understand your point.
Well,
I just don't subscribe to it.
Well, my thing is a little bit different. Mine is solely on the idea. It's a more of a respect thing for me. Like, if you know she's with me, right? I don't expect, like, and I've done this with other women that I'm friends with that are married and stuff like that. Like, I was actually just on a call the other day. I might be working on a project, with NFTs and stuff with a woman who's married, and she's an artist. And we were talking back and forth, and I started saying, hey, listen, I would love for you to get on. I would like to meet your husband. I have respect. I want to meet the man that you're tied in with. You know what I mean? So he knows who I am and I know who he is, and establish that connection. None of this behind the scenes, I'm going to be friends with you and dodge the man in your life. Oh, yeah, nobody is there. You know what I mean? Out of respect. Like, I'm pretty sure John would feel a certain way if that dude came in like, nah, cool, Rebecca, we cool, but I want to meet your husband. I want to know, like, he needs to know who I am and know my intentions and something like that. You know what I mean? If you're dodging that, it's kind of shady. And if you're dodging it, you probably have reasons behind it. You know what I mean? But it's more like, I want to know.
I mean, there's also guys out there who are egomaniacs and would want to meet him. Like, hey, I'm the guy that's going to steal your wife. So, I mean, that's not.
Well, did we hear a story about a guy having a girl bringing a guy in the house, and she introduced her man to her dude friend, and then the nigga wound up beating him in 2K and smashing his wife? Like, that's a double whammy.
That, like,
right?
but that's
like, how do you walk out in public?
That's my point. But that's exactly my point, right? Just because I'm big enough to look you in the eye doesn't mean that I ain't on some slick shit.
Yo,
I could
niggas
just be
is
looking in
dirty.
your
A
eyes.
lot of them
yeah,
don't have
hey,
honor and
hey,
respect.
I'm here to take your shit. Remember this face because I'm
No.
walking out with your bitch.
And I'm not saying just because that's I'm not, I'm not saying it's still okay.
You see me, right?
I'm just saying.
You see me, right?
Yeah,
Take notes. Beard, brown eyes, slick ass hair.
it's
you know,
me.
good looking.
It's me. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
and take the 2K beating while you at it. 40 later.
Insult to injury.
what I'm trying to say is that I'm just talking about friendships with your wife, right? Coming in the house still no man's gonna be coming to my house unless I'm there. That still stands. I'm just saying, even in terms of friendships, I want to make it a point to know your significant other. You know what I mean?
No,
Because
I agree with. I can agree
because
with
it's
you.
respecting. So it's
that's true.
You know what I mean? And well, just because you know me, it still does not mean you should be walking up in my house and just chill my wife.
And y'all not going on no
still.
friend dates and shit either. Because I know women that think it's cool to go on friend dates with their dude friends while they in relationship with other dudes.
My wife has done it.
First, nigga.
Yeah.
Listen,
I stand by what I was saying
better
before.
man than me.
I stand by what I was saying before.
Everybody gonna die.
I don't worry. I don't worry about cheating. I don't.
A friend date, my nigga.
Yep. It sounds funny. I get it. I don't worry about it.
We'll just call you
personally.
Progressive.
That's fine.
You're just progressive.
I'm good with that.
No, nothing wrong with being progressive. You know,
I don't have the capacity because here's part of my thing too. Before you came along, well, I'll use me. Before I came along, she had friends. She had guy friends. Before I existed, right? She would go out with these guy friends before I existed. Maybe they wanted to hit, maybe they didn't. I don't really give a fuck. Some of these guys were around before me, right?
I can
just
promise you they did.
All right. That's all good and grand. What they didn't, first of all, right? Second of all, I'm not gonna let her tell me who I can and can't be friends with and how my relationships gotta go, right? And I'm gonna give her that same treatment back. You was chilling with these niggas before I came around, right? How it looks that because I'm here now, I'm telling you who you can and can't hang out with. That to me, that doesn't make any sense. And now I'm giving you permission to tell me if Jules came around and I was gonna go out to dinner with Jules, you think Maribel's gonna tell me no?
No.
My point.
I think it's a little different situation. For different reasons, but I get what you're saying.
Right.
I know.
Even if you took those out of the equation, though, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
You follow it just wouldn't happen. You're not going to tell me.
But even as a dude, all right. So right. But even as a dude, we're both friends with her. If she was like, "Hey, John, come out to dinner with me," I'm gonna be like, "Nah, all right." Or I'll be like, "All right, so me and Rebecca will be there at this time." Right. Yeah, I'm not just going out with you. Like my wife is coming, or we just not doing it because it's a respect for my. Even if I'm that, and I've known Jules just as long as I've known both of you, and that's my person. But I can't do that.
Respect don't got that much to really do with it. Because the respect goes both ways. She's like, yes, you clearly have to respect your significant other. She's gotta respect you, and entangled in respect is a level of trust. Like, I don't know. I'm okay having things separate from my wife. I don't need to have the same friends as her. I don't need to have the same relationships with her. I don't need to be involved in the same things with her. If she got friends, guys or girls that she feels that she needs or wants to do things with, nigga, I want to stay home and play 2K with y'all, but she wants to go out to dinner with such and such. So I have to go now because it might be a dude. Like, nah, that doesn't equate to me. Like, she's got her own.
All right. If there's a group of friends, then cool. Maybe that's a little different. If it's like 17 girls and a guy, I'll probably be cool with it. Right? The ratio's fine. But yeah, like I don't, it's not that it's an insecurity thing or anything like that. I wouldn't enjoy going to dinner with a female friend without my wife there. All I would do is be thinking about her. That's all I would be doing anyway. It's not because I'm insecure or nothing. I want her there with me. Like I just want you there. So there wouldn't be a scenario, and I'm not talking about with y'all because we're dudes and we're different. But if I have a friend of the opposite sex, I wouldn't enjoy it if my wife wasn't there. I would not have fun. I'm telling you.
Generally speaking, in all fairness, you and Rebecca do a lot of things together, right? Like you guys are very accustomed to doing a lot of those joyous and joyful things together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
But all right. So in Fabian's situation has changed. I don't know if he wants to share it, whatever. Fabian's situation has changed recently, right? So like that's different from you and Rebecca.
Yeah.
Fabian's learning certain things differently than how you and Rebecca have established, right? And even Rebecca's situation is different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like if you look at it, out of the three of us, right? My wife, for example, has had it and will continue to have the most access to any friends that she's established. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
right. So that puts it in like kind of just a different category. And even with like you and Rebecca, y'all got all the same friends at this point.
That's true.
Right. So for Rebecca to go to dinner with you and whoever is not like an outlier, right?
Yeah.
There's no third wheel aspect to that.
No, because we're all
right.
Yeah, we're all tight.
Right, because y'all all tight already. You see what I'm saying?
Well, honestly, but that was by design. It's so I could have the freedom and without the guilt. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, but I can have the freedom to hang out with whoever I want to because she knows everybody the same way that I know them. Smart. So therefore, there's no, you know, what I'm saying?
But you even said yesterday though that if Rebecca had a friend that was established, a guy friend that was established, not new, right? You'd react differently to him versus her coming home and saying, "Oh, you know, I met this dude Tyrone at work," right?
At 36 years old, like no, you didn't.
You said right. You would react. It's two completely different reactions, right?
Yeah, absolutely,
so
absolutely.
I think it's fair to say that
he listens.
That it's possible. It's fair to say that it's possible if she had met Tyrone when she was 16 and you already knew Tyrone and what he was about and right? That if she was like, "Hey, we're gonna go grab a bite. You want to come? No, all right, bye." That you wouldn't be
you still can't go grab a bite because I'm not going to grab a bite. Like y'all can come to the house and chill. Like we sit in the kitchen and we all do our hangout thing.
But I'm saying it's easy to say that now when you're not in that position. But if you had been around for the last 20 years, you might not think like that is what I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell you why I would, because the opposite end, I have friends from that long ago that I could possibly do that with, and I wouldn't do it for the same reason why I wouldn't want her to do it. So I'm living by my own standards. So I can say that no. Because I have a lot of female friends.
Then I'm wrong. I'll admit that. I'm just saying that I don't.
Is there any ways one could say one is okay and not the other? Because we're all
God forbid it's a double standard for two different genders.
We're built differently. Emotions, physically, everything. So it's not one could argue the situations are completely equal in a way in terms of how we approach things in relationships. Men and women relationships are different. Women and women relationships are different. Men and men relationships are different. We had a conversation about this recently. How our friendships are, how women friendships are.
If I was to say the standard would apply one way, I would almost say that it would be more acceptable for a woman to do it than a guy.
I would That's a tough one.
A married woman?
Yeah. Let me explain why. Men tend to think with the wrong head, right? So a guy, I feel like, would be more prone to fall into a trap set by a woman than a woman would be to fall into a trap set by a guy. For a woman to get attached and fall into that kind of situation normally takes time and takes effort, right? So it's not going to happen on a one-time thing for most women, right? Because of the emotion involved. Where you take most men, right? If you rub a lot of men the right way who aren't, especially men that are already not in a good place, right? They don't think with the same clarity. There's the sexual intelligence is what takes over, and that's usually not the one that leads you to success, right? And that's where I think part of the problem is. We're more
well, it depends. I mean,
well,
if it was Oprah,
I'm saying,
Yeah.
I think we tend to be more sexually impulsive than a woman is. But women tend to be selective. It's like that saying, right? Or what? A key that opens many locks is considered a master key, right? Lock that's opened by many keys is considered a bad lock. Women have the ability to choose who they do things with, where men are just trying to get in there.
Like,
women choose who they want to have sex with, right? Men choose who they want to marry. Right. They all of them can't get married, but we can pick from who we want.
So my point is, because of our tendencies to be a little bit more impulsive when it comes to sexuality, and I think one could because of that, one could argue that it's would be less acceptable for a man to do those kinds of things than a woman.
Nah, I get the logic, but it's all such because they like sex and think about getting pounded just as much as we think about pounding. They just don't talk about it. They're just as sexually impulsive. They're just as sexually impulsive.
There's no, but it's not just about the sexual impulsivity though. It's the what's the word I'm looking? The selectiveness of it. Like, women can be sexually impulsive with someone that they've already decided they want to be intimate with, right? Men are much less. We're easier to convince. To you know what I'm saying? Like, I get what you're saying. We hear a single trumpet and our staff is raised. You feel me? Like, women need to hear the orchestra.
Well, this is why I'm saying, is it acceptable that you can go is it acceptable to say yes and no in certain occasions because it's not equal footing, in terms of relationships because of the nature of things. I mean, one would argue it doesn't have to be. If you can do it, I can't do it, and vice versa. Or one would be like, well, we're built a little differently, so it's okay for you and it'll be okay for me. And some things that are okay for me, not okay for you, and vice versa. And you can be okay, and it's not okay for me, but you could do it. You know what I mean?
In terms of longevity of your relationship, it's probably best to keep things as equal as possible.
Well, that's a newfound mentality. People have been married for centuries and never had issues.
I don't believe in that. Equal as possible. Like, nah, we all are born with certain privileges based off of what vagina we came out of, pretty much, right? Like, privileges vary, but they vary. The privileges vary. Look, I might be predisposed to being tall, right? I'm Black, right? So that's just for example. So women have they predisposed as advantages of being women because you're a woman. So what's the advantage? Men pay for this stuff, and everybody's got to be soft to you, and da 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 da. And us, we get to pee everywhere we want.
That's new. That's the new age thing. Yeah,
but I mean, generally throughout the history, the women are the softer sex, so therefore they get treated softly, right? And men aren't the softer sex, so we don't.
I mean, as they should be, in my opinion. I'm just
right. Well, but
if many would disagree with that.
If there was equality, then they would be treated just as rough as men, or men would be treated just as soft as women. And that's what equality is. And do you, as a dude, do you really want to be treated softer? Like, it's okay to not give a shit about me sometimes, because that's, as a dude, it's not preferred, but there are benefits to that, right?
There's a middle to everything, right? Like, the part of the problem is over time, like things just got too extreme. So and now it's like an overcorrection that's happening, and we're getting like almost like into a completely different thing, but it's almost like an
next week's episode.
It's almost an overcorrection that's happening right now, right? So that's where, I don't know, that's my take on that. It's just an overcorrection. No, I don't think that women shouldn't be treated with a certain softness, but I also don't think that men need to be like fucking ignored, right? And just keep it to yourself. Don't talk about it.
But that's the game. And it's, we really trying to throw away, even though society ain't perfect, but we're really trying to throw away what has been working pretty much for thousands of years, right? Like, we got this far by being how we were, and now we're just like, nah, fuck it, let's throw it away. Let's see what new shit is like. Well, it's been crafted and perfected over time to work like this.
It almost feels like a grass is greener on the other side kind of situation, right? Because, for like what I was saying, you have the gender norms, right? That, like you said, have worked. They just worked because we are built with purpose, for specific purpose, generally speaking,
biological purpose.
And now this the overcorrection is like, well, no, if you can do it, I can do it too. But it's not a matter of can you do it as well, right? I cannot take care of my daughter in terms of a loving and caring aspect, right? Like the nurturing aspect, as well as my wife. I feel this. I've accepted this. Because
it's not even a question to even think that you could. You know what I mean?
I don't like. No, but there are people who would take offense to that kind of statement. What you mean? Like, you're just as good at. But no,
well, because they're confusing emotion and love over the effectiveness of how you can actually do things.
Right.
I love just as much. I care just as much. But I cannot give the same kind of emotion that my wife can give to certain things. Now, on the flip side, I know that my wife cannot take care of certain things in the house to the same degree that I can, right? Like, I can guarantee you that my wife has not checked our oil level once, probably doesn't know how to. I'm sure that she hasn't filled up the water softener tablets once, probably doesn't even know that fucking where that shit would go. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it snows, they go, you better get yourself up at 5 o'clock. I'm gonna stay sleeping. Let me know when that shit is clear. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my role, and I don't expect her. That's what we sign up for,
right? But
it's a good thing that it's that way. Like, we don't want to. I don't want my wife up at 5 o'clock in the morning outside shuffling shit.
I agree with you.
Gender norms.
I agree with you. But going back to what Fabian. I mean, this whole conversation came up because is certain things okay and certain things aren't, for depending on what side. I guess ultimately it really depends on what the person feels would be a norm. Because I don't think like my parents would subscribe to how I am, but my parents have also lived a life that's more similar to John's, where they have all the same friends. You know what I'm saying? They live a very uniform life, where Maribel and we have a degree of separation in our friends and in the things that we do and in the things that we enjoy, right? So that's where it becomes a little, I think, why we treat things differently than like you guys do. You know what I'm saying? Even like with you and yours, Fabe, like, when she's around, right, because of your situation, it's you and her. You know what I mean? So it'd be real. I would be like, who the fuck she got in your house, nigga? Because like that whoever that is new. You feel me? Like it would be a complete
Yeah.
different level of suspicious. You know what I'm saying? Versus
Like you just
somebody
got
that
here.
right versus somebody
Yeah.
that she's known for the last 20 years. You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
like, wait, come again,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah, but even I think she would be a little, because she has that sense, she has that feeling. Like even coworkers that she has, guys that she does and stuff like that, she'll be hesitant just out of respect. I'm in a different position now. I belong to somebody. I
but
approach this differently, so I can't think the same way I did when I was. You know what I mean? So it's almost
I
like the
would
mentality
I
changes.
would love to
It's
know
not
though
like,
if she feels that way because she understands who she's with,
I thought
or
that too. This was something that was from the beginning. She would mention.
uh
She was hesitant.
yeah,
She goes, I'm gonna.
but realistically, bro, you have a certain
And I've never made
Katie don't take no
machismo,
shit.
Don't do it.
but
Like,
but no,
never.
Katie don't take
not
no
that.
shit.
You know,
Yeah,
don't take.
you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like,
What do you mean?
like you, but
Unacceptable.
but you believe in the traditional hierarchy of the household, right? And that comes off right away,
Okay.
right? Where daddy's rules first, not to the complete, like, the guy.
So what
There's a
he's
word
saying
I'm
is
looking
maybe she's
for.
acquiescing because she already knows the type of dude you are. So before
Right.
she even, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, thank you.
I
Yes. I think wholeheartedly that's where, like, I'm not even gonna go here because I kind of already know the answer based on things that he's said low key that have been slid in there, comments made that, like, you know what?
Man.
I'm not even gonna ask because I already know. We've all been there. We all did that shit with our parents, right? We would have those questions, be like, nah, my mama gonna say no. And you would almost
I ain't even gonna
intentionally,
ask.
depending on what it is, like, we used to pick what parent you would ask something to, right? Because you already knew what the likelihoods are. She already knows what you would and would not be okay with.
But
You know what I'm saying?
you know what's funny though, because now for the first time ever, which is why this is so great, I would probably be more apt to be on what you're saying, PJ, now than ever. However, she by default, this is probably why we click, is already thinking, it's probably not the best idea to do that.
That's
like,
my
you know
point,
what I mean?
though. Yeah,
But this is
you
actually
trained her.
But no,
You trained her. It's fine. You trained her, bro. She
I'm telling you, I did.
understands. It's not a bad thing. We all get trained. We get trained by our wives. We train them to understand what the fuck we like, and we get trained to understand what they like. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna leave a pile of dishes. You're not gonna leave a pile of dishes in your sink because for the next 3 weeks and wait for her to come back because you know that she gonna have a problem with that. You want a happy woman when she get home. You ain't gonna leave your musty ass sheets on the bed again, or leave them shits in the dryer unfolded because the last time she was like, damn, motherfucker, you couldn't fold this shit. She trained you to understand, no, fold these sheets after you clean them and don't leave your musky ass sheets here when I get home. Like, at least have the courtesy to change my shit, right? You're not gonna make a mess in it. Even I understand how she is. I don't even live there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna make sure that you understand as your best friend, like, yo, like, hey, Elle don't like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. When Maribel's trying to get in contact with me and I don't respond, and she knows I'm chilling with y'all either on the game or with y'all personally,
our shit is notified up.
She don't even call me. She hits y'all up because she has even trained y'all to let me know. You know what I'm saying? My wife has trained y'all.
She said, "Please tell PJ shut up because it'll be
right. Tell this nigga dinner's ready and to be quiet." You know what
but you know what? But she's smart. It's effective. So,
but this is my
super effective.
That does not stop the training, sir. Right?
I mean, I guess
we always. So my point is, Leanna. Yeah, you want to come over here and say that Leanna generically knows that Elle knows that already, but you low key train her with your fucking side comments and fucking attitudes and innuendos and shit, nigga. Like,
he's not wrong. he's not wrong.
And when
I've never said no, you can't. Boom. That's never been the thing.
It's never in that way.
I hope
I don't do that.
I hope when she hears this, she sends you a text that, yeah, he's kind of right. I
Yes,
hope for
but
that.
but
Can you do
and
that?
you know what?
Can you do
She is
that?
gonna agree to a degree because I have done that with other things. And then, but something like this, she's probably gonna tell you that actually no, I've been kind of agree with John on that, and
I'm
because she
just,
agrees with a lot what John says.
no,
And there's like, it goes without saying, you never had to tell me that because I kind of felt that way already. But yes, you're right.
I'm not gonna say that she didn't agree with it entirely. I'm just saying that there's certain things that she came to understand without you saying them directly. That's all I'm saying.
You're right. You're right. By design.
Non-verbal communication.
It's by design.
Oh shit.
Non-verbal communication, man. It's a motherfucker.
There's one last thing that I want to touch about before, because we've been going. This has been bothering me since I heard about it, and I just want to make sure that everyone understands this. Missy Elliott deserves a star on the Walk of Fame.
Absolutely.
And for those that are hearing or watching,
shot.
you just need to accept that. There's a reason why many of the people who have risen to fame over the years have also wanted to feature on her shit. She's brought up incredible artists her damn self, and just because you don't
albums
but even just because you don't know about it in the moment, right? You do know, I would argue, do you know of every producer and every influence of that person based off what they've put out? Probably not, but I can guarantee you she is largely responsible for it. Even if you want to take just the position of women in hip hop, just them, not including the men, wildly influential and deserves that star.
Top 5 women in hip hop. Top 5 women in hip hop all time.
So
Lil Kim, right? Nicki, Missy.
Are we all in agreement of this avenue?
Yes.
Okay.
Missy Elliott, you deserve a star on the Walk of Fame.
All right.
Period.
All right. And the Alpha 5 loves you. On that note, fellas, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. Not that we've been apart from each other, but everybody, we hope you enjoyed.
From the audience. We love you guys.
Right.
Thanks for listening and appreciate you.
If you back and you here, and thanks for sticking with us over this time. Like it, share. You know, we're on Apple, Google, fucking Spotify. We're on Pandora now. We out there. We out there. Let's start spreading the word. Alpha 5 is back, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Fellas.
Yes, sir.
Till next one. Peace.